Just second YouTube. Yes. Much as I hate to turn that off, man, I love that song. Some kids that cover Tools 46 and 2, they do it a lot better. I guess everybody can hear me on YouTube. I didn't bring my, yeah. If you ever meet me in person, I'll tell you a backstory about that song. Well, I can't tell all of you. Some of you are kind of weird. Let's see. Some of you don't party as much as I do. Sometimes when I meet people in person, I say, hey, man, I hope you're not easily disappointed. I want to talk about SoFi for a minute. I want to talk about 2 risky plays right now I think you should consider. I don't know how much money, but you should consider them. These are 2, 3X's, okay? Could be, they have the potential. Now, if the market shits the bed, gets ugly, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What are you going to do when the market gets bad, shits the bed, gets ugly? It is what it is. All we can do, and that's the beauty of the money flow, man. What's up, Simon? All we can do, the beauty of the money flow is that it gives us a repeatable pattern. It's a way of approach. It's a process. That's what it does for me, man. Chapter 6 of the Science of Getting Rich. Let's open with this. This is not Sunday service, but sometimes you need a verse, man. Sometimes you need a quote, man. Sometimes you need something. So listen to this. This chapter 6. This book is free everywhere. If you click my bio link, you can get it. It's free, or buy yourself a hard copy. But it says, when I say you do not have to drive sharp bargains, I do not mean that you do not have to drive any bargains at all, or that you are above the necessity for having dealings with your fellow men. Matter of fact, this book, The Science of Getting Rich, it talks about that other people have all of your money. Okay? Other people. So you got to get comfortable being around people, talking to people. You want to push your intent into people. You want to be able to just walk up to a complete stranger and sell them whatever the fuck you sell. Like when they walk away from you, they're like, bro, let me follow you on Instagram. Right? And the only reason people would do that is they felt some sort of abundance in some fashion. My man came in here, a bodybuilder. Man, I meet you, man. Shit, I might want to follow you. Why? Because you sparked something. You said something. Inspiration, motivation, something equated to abundance. And I'm like, man, I need to talk to this guy. I do this all the time, dude. If I randomly talk to people out, I'll be at a bar, or be a stranger, and I sometimes, for the purpose, I say, okay, before I go home, I'm gonna get some human, some stranger, to follow me on Instagram. Maybe come hang out with me. We could play that game. Me and the professor do it. Professor's better at it than me. And you're like, what do you mean? You're just standing there, and the first one to get one person to follow him on Instagram wins $100. How about that? $100 in this bar. And you can't be weird and go up and give them $50 to follow you. I mean, you got to engage them in conversation, and on their own, they go, oh, hey, man, let me try that. Try that game. That's when you're a salesman. A little easier for the ladies, though. You might get some pervs calling you, though. He says, I don't mean that you will not need to deal with them unfairly. You do not have to get something for nothing, but can give every man, and they mean woman too, more in use value than you take from them in monetary value. I mean, you're a blessing to the world. That's what I'm trying to do here with the money flow. Easiest way for me to sum it up, and I've always summed it up like this, but it's really not, while this is patterns, and I've got good friends that don't believe in patterns. They don't believe pattern trading works. That's fine. I'm not mad at them. Lots of things work that I don't do. And but this is the pattern that I've used for both investing and trading. And it's more than this too, man. And anyone I've ever met in person where I spent some time with and we're at something, a number of people will come up and go, hey man, the money flow is not just about stocks. Like they're enlightening me. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, man. Yeah, I already know that. But it clicked in them that this is kind of life, man. This is the way your life moves. Sometimes ain't shit going on, then it gets wild, and there's all these things coming up, and it moves higher and higher, and you just have good deal after good deal, or good stock after good stock. Sales are great, relationships are great, you're killing it, just got a new car, bought a thing, baby's on the way. Like, it's just good. Now, you might have little bounces here and there, but in general, your life is in an up direction, and then we plateau, and we all do this. You do this in working out. Why? This is a universal pattern, man. The shit you see happening on here, this is the human conscious collectiveness of millions of people who get up every day, turn on their computer, and look at the same ongoing feedback loop that you do. Think about that. You ever notice man, it's so deep, man. I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it sometimes, man, because I might start crying. And then you'll be all nervous, like, why is this grown man? Why is this man with a beard crying? And it's like, man, it's so beautiful. That's why, man. It's hard. It's hard not to. Yeah, I'm live on the very first. A lot of you don't have my book, man. It's fucking embarrassing. Page 1, this little verse here. It says, and this applies to anything. Like, I don't care what your strategy is. You should have my book. That little chapter in the opening, it's not even the writing. It just says this. The very first thing I say in my training book. I want to say at the beginning of this book that I believe in buy and hold investing. I believe in the power of dividends to compound and build massive wealth over time. I own many stocks that I've owned for many years that I do not trade or sell. So I'm just establishing that, yes, I believe in trading, but I also believe in buy and hold. Because I believe in buy and hold, I believe it gives me an advantage in trading. Most traders don't believe in buy and hold. Most traders are actually feel like the market's risky, because they're looking in such a small window. And in a tiny window, yeah, perception can be that it's risky. But some things that are perceived risky, the risk, or what we call in the stock market, volatility. Volatility is your friend. Without volatility, there's no money to be made. Think about that. A fractal, if there are no foreclosures, then how do I get rich? A fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. This is just a fancy way of saying something, okay? They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Here it is. Listen, all the pot smokers in the back, listen very carefully. Driven by recursion, fractals are images of dynamic systems. Not science class. This is the money flow, man. This here is an ongoing feedback loop. Each one of these days represents one day in the U.S. stock market. Just the other day, SoFi traded for $6.50. Now, I want to bring your attention to something before. Where was a previous high in the last run-up of SoFi? So even though the pattern is tiny, it's still money flowing, man. It went sideways. It went up. It went sideways. It went down. It went sideways, it went up, and it immediately went down. But now we're back in. So we're back into this stage 2. So as I watch SoFi and I go look and I say, Gerald, but what about fundamental analysis? Do you even know about stocks? How come you never talk about the P/E ratio or quarterly earnings? Because it's boring. There, I said it. I'm not a fucking nerd. I got more shit to do. Now, doesn't mean I don't watch it. I look at it. I go have my teeth cleaned by at the dentist. That doesn't mean I do videos on it. Okay? So I have no interest in teaching that. One of the things I encourage people is to go to Morningstar, because I think that's a great safe place to start, because it's not over the top ridiculous. It gives you so much information for such a little price. Like, you get all this massive dump of fundamental information, the shit I don't want to teach you. You can just come up here and you're like, SoFi, I wonder who their competitors are. Who could that possibly be? And you click the button and then it gives them to you. And next, and then you can come over here and you can look at this and you can say, well, how much is this worth, man? And what does it say? 66% discount. Where do they say the fair value is? They're saying $15. Come up. Now, what do I always tell you inside of the money flow? What's the dirty hack? I know you guys like dirty stuff, man. I got a lot of perverts follow me. And I don't know why, man. It's dirty stuff. If you look at SoFi, what's the dirty hack? Well, if it's trading below this yellow line, we off the top, we say undervalued. Now, that doesn't tell you everything. It's just a general rule, man. It's a life hack. If I look at a stock and it's under this yellow line, I know most likely if it's a real business, if they make a real product, if they're going to hang around, they're probably undervalued. I really don't even need to look at Morningstar, but I go there to see kind of what they think it's worth, man. And then I can read on it and I can get in you can go down that rabbit hole as much as you want to go, man. What is this thing doing? Hold on. It got jacked up on here. Now, this is a high-risk stock, guys. This is for all practical purposes, an undervalued penny stock that really has a business. They have real customers, and they have an app, and they do real business. Look at this, 442 million. I don't know. That sounds like a lot to me. But that's a penny stock, right? That's not Apple that does 38 billion in the quarter. It's not Exxon. It's not Campbell's Soup. It's not Google. It's a penny stock, man. And so the returns aren't big. And that's why the price is cheap, man. And so if we can look at a legitimate penny stock that's a real business. Now, here's the thing, man. You got to decide how you're doing these. But I'm talking about position trading these here. And what I mean by position trading is what I'm looking for is this right here. I'm looking every time my position sells off, I'm trying to catch the apex or the bottom. Well, apex technically is a term for the top, an apex. But let's flip it. The top is the bottom. The universe is bipolar, high tide, low tide, love, hate. Everything about the universe has two sides. You might think you're a sweetheart, but man, if they only really knew. So that's what always, whenever I meet people that are too good, you can say, we just don't know the real you. So you just ain't let it out. Look where it stopped before, man. Back to the golden line. That's still half price. So big picture, if I'm trading this and we think it's worth $15, guys, that could take 2 years. I mean, is that unreasonable time frame? You're like, what do you mean? All right. I mean, what's the average return in real estate? What are the returns in bonds? What do you get out of a fucking bank? What do you get in anything? What return do you get? So to go from $5 to $13, if that took 3 years, is that a problem? Is that a problem with you? You don't like 40% a year returns? Now that may come, what happens and what typically happens in stocks, that may come in 12 days. And that may not happen for 2 years. It may run sideways and then it gets up into this $8 range and now it's still undervalued 40, 50% and it hangs around in there and then it pulls back to here and then it runs. And we're 2 years later before we finally bang $13. And it might do it in a jump in 2 weeks, or it might take a month, or maybe it slow drifts. Anyway, the way it's going to do it is it's going to do this little pattern you see. See it? Didn't quite come, came back up, right? Not perfect. Money flows aren't perfect. Money flow patterns are not perfect. And sometimes we draw them in the past, meaning they weren't as clear there. Like that started to be a breakout and then it wasn't, and then it broke the box. So when we back up, now the government says past performance is not indicative of future results. Well, I don't know what is then. I don't know. That's such a weird statement. I wish they'd reword that. Wrecking your car into a wall is not going to happen the same. Yeah, it is. Like some things are indicative of past results. I don't know about you, man. A lot of things are. So that's a weird comment. It's a weird way of saying that, hey, nobody knows the future. To say past performance is not indicative of future results. It's not, but it is. I mean, goddamn, what else are we going to use? All testing is past performance, even grades in school. Your parents get mad, you got D's. You're like, Mom, that's past performance. Government says past performance is not indicative of future results. It's right there. SEC says it. So that's all you got to tell them. Next time remember that. Next time your kid gets bad grades and you're like, you're grounded. It's like, really? That's illegal, bro. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You can't do that. You can't ground me based on what happened before because you don't know that that's true going forward. Your kid should sue you. You break the law a lot. Yeah, Daniel says Morningstar has $15 value. That's true. So this is a stage 1 / trying to break out / did break out, but now back above the 20. To me, that's pretty bullish. It tells me this is probably the low. Do you see how we deducted that? I'm not going to turn you in for doing illegal things, punishments to your children. It's all right. You're allowed to raise them the way you see fit. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Tell that to parents. They don't believe that shit. They're like, what are you talking about? His past performance is exactly how he's going to act in the future. For some reason, we can't say that with stocks. So 530, Morningstar gives it that. You never thought about that, man. Maybe I'm just weird. I think about weird things. Things linger in my mind. Things people said to me, conversations I had. And it's things that other people don't spend 10 seconds on. And I just keep thinking on it. And I think that ultimately becomes content because I can't shake it. And so what I've found is that's the spirit, man. We're in a spirit world. You see the size of those chickens. That's the spirit guiding you through that process. So you always want to be open to that, man. You never know. Cycles and waves, someone said. All right, so this is a high speculation trade. I would at least figure out how to get myself 100 shares. When you buy a stock like this, where a conservative business like Morningstar is covering it, that tells you they're a quality company. It's just a small company. You've got to be patient. You want to use these big sell-offs to build positions. It can go there again. It was there before. Just make position size it, right? You're not going to buy as much of this as you would of Apple. But if you got some duckies, if you got a little money, like myself, and you like to buy some shit, get you 1,000 shares, man. So what? It goes to $3. Who cares, man? You got more money. You buy more positions. You spread them out. You use the money flow. When these things hit stage 1, you add. The only guys that get freaked out about the only people get freaked out about position trading is when they don't have new money to put into the market. Meaning their paradigm is in limit and lack. Meaning they're not going to keep adding money to their account. Everyone that I ever meet who can't add money to their account when the market goes into free fall, flip the fuck out, because they know they can't do anything. And they think I should try to preserve that because they see money as limited because they don't have very much, or they don't make very much, or they're not in a consistent pattern of adding to the market. People who consistently add and have for years, they have a different response to a lot of these things. They're not freaked out. Now, if you're trading though, you got to use those stops, right? Like that's a straight up downtrend right there. So as a trader, we got to get out of that, right? If we're trading a position, if we're swing trading, day trading, momentum trading, that's a different conversation. Crypto Lindsay says, you're not weird, you're intelligent. I don't know, man. I don't know. I appreciate the sentiment that I'm not weird, though. Risk management, thoughts on PayPal. We'll get to PayPal. Risk management for sure. So use that. I do really believe SoFi is a deal here. I thought SoFi was a deal at $10. So, keep that in mind. Another high risk trade that I'm in right now is Nat Gas. Now, the actual symbol for Nat Gas is $, what is it? NATGAS. This is, if you look at Nat Gas, it's a 24-hour delay on stock charts, meaning they're not doing live feeds for commodity products. So we have to look at the underlying object. So right now, as of yesterday, Nat gas went into what is attempting to be a stage 2 breakout. It rejected yesterday. It came right back. Okay. So when I see this as a money flow trader, I see an easy stage 3. I see a pivot point or an anchor point. It got back above the 5 and it's built a box, and now it's trying to break out, and it's below the yellow line. This is a no risk trade. I mean, not no risk trade. This is a no brainer trade for me. And so that's what I'm looking at. Now, the easiest way for me to trade this, couple ways. Unleveraged is the UNG. Now you see it's not quite breaking out like that because there's slight discrepancies because that's a commodity. Commodities aren't stocks. And so there's different ways to get exposure to commodities, and commodities have expirations. So you might be trading March corn, March nat gas, then there's April. They're very similar to options contracts in that they have expiration dates. You're trading a contract. So these continuous products are trying to trade at, and so there's cost involved because they're rolling over the contracts to give this the underlying price of that asset. Okay, so they're not going to be perfect, but it will give you exposure to that without going into the futures market or the commodities market. Hope that made sense. Upside down belt. You ever seen Liberty Belt? This is upside down. I watch this because I'm weird. So yeah, no shit, right? So we're looking at nat gas here. I put in Discord this morning. If you trade with us inside the Money Flow gang, I'm not going to keep texting this. I'm just building it out. I've been adding, 5 shares, 10 shares. I'm just building this out. And we got to revisit this if this gets broken. It's not 100%, but as these indicators turn positive, I'm building my position. So everything's above is breaking out, but price being above the 20. So first target right around here, second target right around here. So we'll see. What's up, Manny? What's up, my man? I see a lot of people here, man. That's good. We also live on YouTube, by the way. GPs. Is there a difference between XNG and nat gas? So let's look at XNG. Boil is another way to trade it. I'm not leveraged on this. The reason, and it's not that I don't want to be leveraged. It's just, you notice how much further the leverage down. I don't know. I just didn't want to add the extra risk of leverage. I've got quite a few leverage trades going right now. So it's like, fuck, man, how much leverage do I want? But this, let's say you didn't have a lot of money. I mean, this is a great way to play it. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll add some leverage as this thing builds out. You know what I mean? Like if this thing firms up even better, I might add a little leverage. Meaning I could buy some UNG, and then if the trade doesn't get going, if it starts to look like it's going to break, I could buy real quick, jump on some Boyle, which is the same trade. It's just leveraged. And then I could be quick to take that one off and hold UNG if it gets into a long uptrend. That's one way to do that too, man. That's just off the top of my head, man. So yeah, nothing against Boyle. Boyle's a leveraged way of playing this. It allows you to put less money into the trade. So $500 is buying you like $1,500, which is buying already a leveraged product. So a lot of leverage going on here, man. Chart looks almost the same as UNG, which is unleveraged. None of them look as good as the actual nat gas chart, which we'll see today's when at the close. Anybody ask me something on Instagram? Oh, XNG. I got sidetracked. Oh, yeah. So let's see. Now this natural gas index, NYSE. Yeah, that's a good question, man. Let me go look on that. I'm sure there's some difference. I'm guessing because nat gas, it depends on which contract you're looking at too. I don't know. I'm sure someone smarter than me knows. I haven't looked at the XNG. I have to go do that and see what this is indexing. It's probably indexing more than just the actual contract itself. Maybe they got some stocks in there too. Maybe they got some other stuff on this index. While we're on that, I'll show you something. It's kind of boring, but if you're a nerd, it might interest you. Industry indexes. Now, these are kind of weird. It's one like he just said. It's the BKY. Now, this is not something you can trade. This is just an index of the stocks or whatever it's using to make up this index. But this isn't tradable. This is just something you can look at. So the KBW Bank Index. So I bet if you go look at the XFF, it looks similar to this. You look at some of the banking stocks. So this probably you could go look up and see what this is looking at. What this allows a trader to do is just real quick look and see where are the average banks. Are banks in an uptrend or downtrend? Right now they're in an uptrend. BTK. Killer? Bro, they got zero killer? No, it's biotech. Not BTK killer. It's biotech index. So if you go look, I bet a lot of biotechs look just like this, which a lot of them have gone up. Here's another one. Look at this. It's the double D's. Disk drive index, man. What's wrong with you guys? DDXI. This is not... Come on, man. I'm trying to be professional. This is the disk drive index. Companies that make disk drives. Very odd, but there are companies that just do that. So this kind of gives you an idea what's going on in that sector. Man, how smart you could get if you looked at shit like this. Dow Jones REITs. So you're like, what do you think about REITs? Well, we could very easily go see what is the average REIT. And the average REIT on the REIT index says they should be going up. So if you're not going up, maybe there's something wrong with your REIT, or maybe it's an opportunity, right? Interesting stuff. That one I think is going to fall into this. I have shit tons of these. To be honest, I don't look at these a lot. Pharmaceuticals, Dow Jones, U.S. paper, total stock market, you think that's rolling? I don't think that's rolling papers. I think that's more like stuff for, and there's a commodity one. I think that's more like international paper. Let's look at that. IP. And not the beer either, man. What is wrong with you guys? Let me find that paper one again. Where'd it go? Dow Jones U.S. total paper. It's under the 20. Where's IP? Right there by the 20. They make paper. Shit, this looks better than that one did. All right, man. All right, so back to this. So as I look at any of those, I'm just laying all of that shit, all my knowledge, any fundamental information I know, sector analysis, stock analysis, I'm laying it over this. And I'm trying to figure out, this is a fractal pattern of price. Does such a thing exist? And that it does. Let's go down to nat gas for a second. Let's drop this down to a 1 hour chart. You see we got a stage 1, right? All right, so if I'm watching this and I want to try to catch the breakout, let's go to the 1 hour. It's above the green, man. Looks good. That's the only 2 high-risk trades that I got today that I'm working on, man. I'm working on nat gas. It's winter time. Price is low. We're in a stage 1. We're following the money flow. So we got seasonal patterns here. We got shit going on in Russia. Do we have a previous high? Yep. Is it below the 200-day? Yep. Is it setting up in a stage 1? Yep. So if I was ever going to buy it, now is when I do it. If I'm trading the money flow, right? So that's the kind of shit that I'm looking at there. Can't find nat gas on Robinhood. Yeah, probably not, bro. You'd want look at the UNG. Robinhood's probably not running these sector index things. Look at the UNG, and that'll tell you. Just like USO. USO is not exactly the price of oil, but this is the United States Oil Fund. It's not perfect, you know. And if you were to look at, you know, Brent, it's going to be slightly different. And this is a real-time contract. What the fuck is it on? I thought it was Brent. Yeah, it's Brent. What is going on? See, they're basically the same. So right now, oil's trading at $96. Brent is. So there's a couple different kinds of oil, a couple different kind of ways to trade oil. You got it on the futures and commodities market, and it's contract based. So any of these products that are trying to real-time trade in oil, they got a carrying cost. So the charts aren't going to look exactly perfect, but USO is basically the easiest way to see during the day where's the price of oil. Let's look at PayPal. I think you got a bigger return in SoFi. But look at PayPal's definitely the blue chip of the bunch. I wouldn't touch this here, man. Right now it's a stage 4 decline. It broke support. Everything is pointing down. RSI is not extreme yet, so I wouldn't buy it now because it can go extreme. That's what it's telling you. Everything is pointing down, man. Don't touch this. Still got more downside, so you're going back down into probably 170. I either want to, and this is how I would analyze the money flow. So once you're in on this and your brain's not scattered, a lot of you got too many goddamn ways you're trying to look at the market, doing 50 things. This is all I do. So as I look at this, I either want one or two things to happen. I want it to come in down in here because I'm greedy and I know the money flow works and I know shit goes down when it says it's going down. Not always, but enough of the times that I'm greedy. Or I want this to set up and go back in the box and set up for a run up. So I either want to buy it there or there, not here. That's indecisive. Now, if you're just a long-time buy and holder and don't really, you know, because if, let's say we think this is the bottom, if we run it across, has it ever stopped here before? Yep. And it's been resistance before. So you actually have a minor zone here. But because the RSI is not extreme yet, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. But if we compare that to Amazon, now I told people in my group the other day, I get a lot of, they don't believe the money flow though. So Amazon opened here. People just buy it. It's fucking Amazon. And that's true. And that works over time. But what the money flow's telling you, not yet. It ain't bottomed. So we went down, down, down. Is this the bottom? Nope. Nope. So if I was just going to buy it all the way down, if that was my strategy, I would wait a minute. But what's the money flow tell you? It's going down, dude. Everything says down. Everything. That's it. It's all pointing down. So I need it. I mean, goddamn. Are we going to have one thing say up? Like, or are we just going to buy it anyway? Like, you could do that. But if you do what I'm saying, you'll be buying like down here and then building it up. And imagine the difference between here and here. And if you do that consistently over a period of time through 10, 20, 30, 40 different stocks over 5, 6, 7 years, this little bump here starts to add up. Your returns start to get a little bit bigger. You get what I'm saying? As you do that, here's the hard part for people to get on the money flow, position trading, any of that stuff is that over time, it gets better. Your executions get better. Your belief in there gets better. You make less bad decisions. Your account balance grows as you work it consistently and you don't get sidetracked. You know, if you were to actually learn, now the chances of all of you guys learning the money flow is like slim to fucking none. But if you were to spend a period of your time learning this and mastering it, man, over time, it can really accelerate your returns on that. Let's see. What's up, Paul? Keith. It really can. Let's see. It's not there yet, man. Let's give it a minute. But again, this is a top stock. I do believe in buy and hold. I say that in the very opening sentence of the Money Flow. I want to say at the beginning of this book that I believe in buy and hold, investing. I believe that the power of, I say that. So in the end, owning shares is not a bad idea. Let's look at Uber, man. These are much cooler than Uber. Oh, the doubters about Uber. Some of my friends didn't want to buy Uber when it was cheaper because they thought it was bad. We were buying the shit out of Uber down here. I know you got that Prada purse and that new car, but I don't know, man. Uber at $20 was a gift. I don't think you ever get it there again. Maybe in 10, 12 years or something. I don't believe it. I don't believe it goes back there. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think so. I like Uber here. I'm not buying any. I bought a bunch over here, man. So I'm turning my attention to other things right now. But if you don't have a lot of Uber, I'd be buying it here. I mean, what's it worth? I got about 1,000 shares, though. Okay. Read that. And just since they reported earnings, we maintain our $73 fair value estimate. But Gerald, it fell all the way to 21, and what are we going to do? I've lost everything. I had a guy tell me that the other day. I lost all my gains. Now, you didn't have any gains, man. You're playing with baby money. You need to buy some shit now. Right? You need 1,000 shares right here, man. You'd be up $9,000 right now. So, you were hoping to see, right? Yeah, I don't see Verizon getting that low. That would be crazy, huh? Let's see. Lyft is one that I was adding to, and not Uber. Just because I had a lot of Uber. Lyft is still a buy here. I like Lyft. If you're not in Lyft, I'm going to give you, here's a couple penny stocks. SoFi at $5 and something right now is fucking ridiculous. If you don't have 100 shares of that, you're just dumb. SoFi is a legit business that's trading as a penny stock that could be bought out by another bank. You ever think of that? Other banks could buy it out because they want to get all the stupid millennials that are on there financing their credit cards and their student loans. So they might want to get access to their people. It could be a buyout merger. I've been pretty hot with the buyouts, man. I had 3 of them last year, 2 of them the year before. Now, it's a hard thing trying to pick stocks that are buyout candidates, but I've had at least 10 in my career of picking stocks that got bought out. And Lyft is another one. Lyft will get bought out. I would have bought this instead of Twitter in a moment. Someone's going to buy Lyft. Someone's going to buy SoFi. One day you're going to wake up and it's gone. They're going to be like, oh, we're taking it public at $20 a share. Remember Stamps, Taco. Man, I got a whole list of them. Yeah. So I think Lyft will get bought. I think SoFi will get bought. I got a couple others. I was working on a report, 5 stocks I think could get bought out. And, if only one does, it's usually a big return. DraftKings, I don't think so, man. There's a lot of... It could be... I shouldn't say that. It could be. I don't know if that group is motivated to sell out. I think they're making a lot of money. Anybody can be bought out, though. Keep that in mind. No, nobody's going to touch Peloton. That's a shit show. If you're in Peloton, you don't have to be married to it, guys. If you picked one and the company fell to shit and things got bad, that's called investing. I don't know if you know this. Mark Cuban buys companies that go to zero. If you're an investor, you're going to have shit go to zero. Get over it. Don't be a little powder puff. Oh, but my stock fell to zero. Yeah, no shit. Everyone that invests has that happen to them at some point, man. What do you use? Some fucking unicorn? You're just going to roll through life, all good things happen to you? No. So you're going to take that hit and move on. That's how you're going to handle that. You're not going to think about it again. Never going to fucking bring it up. You're going to put more money in and keep moving. That's how it works. Don't be the guy fucking 10 years from now. You know how many people I would meet 10 years, like in 2017, I'm trying to teach stocks, and they're like, well, back in 2008, I lost everything. I'm like, that was a decade ago. You've been sitting on your ass for a decade, and you're still talking to me about 2008? Like, that was a real thing, man. I mean, all the way into like 18, 19, they'd be like, oh, no, I don't do the stock market, man. I don't do the stock market. And it's like, okay, don't then. You know, I'm telling you, that's a real thing. You're going to hear that, man. 6-7 years from now, you're going to hear about how they got wiped out when Bitcoin crashed and all that, and they'll be telling you stories about it, and you'll be like, man, you should get in the market. It's just the way it works, man. I like DraftKings here. It's a little past a buy zone for me. This was your buy zone, right? Right here. This is a perfect example of a stage 1 move. Look at this. Everything turned the other direction. 1, 2, 3. Price broke the box and held it. Remember that? Breaks. Oh, well, it didn't quite break the box. But this day here tells you I am going up. Now, the government will tell you past performance is not indicative of future results, okay? Where did it stop? Exactly where it stopped before on the last little sideways up, sideways, down, sideways, up. Now what? Now we're going sideways. Are we going to go down, or are we going to continue the stage 2? If we do, it'll stop in here, and then it'll stop up in here. And that's how stocks move. I just gave you the secret to the universe. Let's see. Ooh. Somebody's getting froggy. Okay, Hanes brands. Holy moly, man. You got to get some of this, man. I can't believe how cheap it is. I mean, I've had to slow down. I mean, I need it. I keep buying it, but it's like, wow. HP keeps going on sale. I've been buying tons of it. I've been buying it since $14. I got a pretty large position in this. The dividend is ridiculous. Every time it pays a dividend, it buys me like 30, 40 shares. What's up on YouTube? All right, let's look at Hasbro, and then I'll get out of here. These were some that I was looking at this morning. Hasbro. If you've seen my little list I did last Sunday, I try to stay on those throughout the week. Looking at Hasbro, but now we broke the box, so now I'm kind of in limbo here, man. Here's the problem. We're kind of in limbo here. We are extreme. We broke the box. Everything is saying down now. I might give this a minute. If this ends up being the bottom, we got to give it a few days. I wouldn't be in any rush on this one. Let's see. Odd pattern on LRN. Ugh. What a weird fucking chart. So let's just back this up for a second. Let's just look at the sell-offs. All right, I like that. We're seeing you see that pattern inside the pattern, right? So we're still money flowing. right? For money flowing. But we also have this pattern of run up, collapses, run up, collapses, run up, collapses. Uh-huh. I ain't the smartest guy. And the government says past performance ain't indicative of future results. Mm-hmm. It might be. So if I go, let's look at what LRN, what is this, man? Is this some Scientology shit, man? LRN? Let's see. They don't follow it, but their quantitative algorithmic rating says 15% discount. They must have missed earnings on a big kind of way. It's undervalued. Now, I knew it was undervalued the moment I looked at it. Why? I got the cheat code. I was like, undervalued. Then I got to go see, is that true? Is that true just because it's below the gold line? Not golden shower, golden line. Because it was below that golden line, we're down. You got a box, man. Yeah, you could take this as a trade. Put a stop loss right here, man. If you're not position trading, get long here. Your first target's here, and then maybe you get a run. I don't think so, though. You might. That'd be a hell of a run. Good trade, man. I like that. That's good looking out. LRN. I'm gonna write that down. I like that. I like that pattern. Hey, what is today? Thursday? I'm actually going to dinner, going to a concert tonight with a Money Flow member. Some of you in the Money Flow, you never take me to concerts. Why is that? Why are you so greedy, man? Let's see. 8-6. Why are you guys so greedy? I'll put this on Instagram. It's on YouTube too. If you need a place to trade, come trade with us, man. Let's see. Let me check YouTube one more time. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, LRN. Let's write that down. Keep an eye on that. Sometimes we get some. I like that pattern, the way it slams down, comes right back. Some reason they keep taking it back up. They must be waiting on something to happen, and then it doesn't happen, and it comes back down. That's a common pattern for that. You'll see this in biotechs and drug companies. Slam down, come back up. 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 That's just common pattern. Just sent you info on a sick concert. Okay. Yeah, man, that's all I got. If you need somebody to trade with, hit me up, and you can come trade with us. You got a couple hoops you got to jump through, but ain't no big deal. So to wrap up, SoFi, I would be looking to get long SoFi. If you're not, go read up on it. Morningstar has a $15 rating. We are in a very tough time right now for this kind of company, this kind of stock, which is why it's $5, okay? If it wasn't because of the Federal Reserve, it'd be $20. Nat gas has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve. Well, not directly. We're below the 200, so technically is why I'm getting involved in this. But it has the fundamental backing to make it work. We're going into winter. So if it starts to get cold, this is going to drift higher. If we get into some crazy shit, and you know what, I had this thought the other day, like, what if Russian separatists or something start blowing up gas lines? This thing's gonna fly. So it's not that we want that to happen, but it's setting up. Look at all the moving averages coming together. The indicators are already moving higher, so there's a divergence from price and the indicators. So that's what's up there. SoFi is a tech stock. Let's check in on the SPY on the way out. Get on that nat gas. It's trying to hold it. It's all negative right now, though, man. If we close below the 20, I'm pretty sure we're headed downtown. So right now, everything's pointed down. You know, do we hold this 360? I don't know. We'll see. It has stopped exactly here before, though. So we got that going for us. We got a little minor support area there. The Qs are negative. God, the Qs are all the way back to the lows, man. Where's the down? I don't know, man. Look at COP. Oh my God. This stock will not stop, man. I got a couple hundred shares of this. Look at ConocoPhillips. And I said I wasn't going to sell anymore. Of course, you bought Amazon at the wrong time, Real James. You ain't trading with me. You ain't got my book. You ain't studied up. You've been doing a lot of bullshitting, probably doing a lot of spooning, taking days off, sitting around drinking, smoking, instead of studying my book, man. I tried to help you. Shit, I wrote it 5 years ago. Been waiting on you. Now we're still waiting. God, 135. I can't get over this. If we look at ConocoPhillips, remember we were buying this at like $20. What, 2 years ago? Except for all the people that quit the money flow. They're like, oh, these oil stocks just keep going down. Why would you buy oil stocks, Gerald? It's trading. It's overvalued by 32%. They say fair value is $1.26. This thing just broke out. What is going on? So on this last breakout, if you remember, I didn't buy any oil stocks here. And I said if I was new, maybe I would, but I'm not because I bought them a lot lower. I bought them a lot lower, right? So what we did is we put on a short-term trade, ERX. So we got long that. And we started trimming it. So I don't know what is going on with Conoco. Man, Exxon's not doing that. Verizon, Conoco must have discovered some oil or something. And I'm just teasing you, bro. Anybody see any news on Conoco? Anybody on YouTube? Yeah, Bohr was a penny stock of ours. I got out of most of my Bohr. Let's see. It's banging it. Look at, God damn it. Anybody in Bohr, I'd take some off here. I would take some off, and then the next target is this 650 range. What's up, Deb? Deb, was that you that I was going back and forth with email? No, I don't know if that was you or not. Let's see. That's it, man. That's all I got. Some reason, gotta go. Facebook is in a shithole, man. Somebody said Meta. Don't buy this stock, man. You can't buy Meta right now, guys. It's gotta hold. It's in a down move. If the market turns south, this is going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So this is now the lowest low. You need at least this to hold for 4 days. Okay? There is no rush to buy this stock. It is going nowhere. You've just now got the MACD to stop dropping. So I would give this a minute. Let's see what it does over the next day or two. Same with Google. Don't buy it. Same with Amazon. Don't buy it. They're all three the same. Shitty. Going down. Let's see. Silver's a leverage trade we have on. I put out a reel. I said silver's going. You're gonna wake up. This thing's gonna fly. Look at it coming back today. We've been looking at. Problem with Tesla. If the Qs go down, Tesla's going down. It can't hold the wind. So fuck, dude, we got to keep an eye on this. This trade was set to rip too, and everyone fucked it up. All the tech companies messed it up. So what you really want to be thinking about now, if you're in this as a trade, you're in Tesla. I don't know if you're position trading it, you got to ask yourself, if this breaks, are you getting out of the trade, or what are you going to do? And let's say it breaks and your plans to hold it. Don't buy it day one, man. Let it drop. Let it drop, like we've seen with Amazon. So if this breaks, you let it drop. You let it keep dropping and dropping, and one day it's going to be the lowest low. And then you're going to get a couple days that it holds that, and that's what tells you. And then the moment it does that, that's your man. You jump on it, shit, man. And same, it's just like over here, man. You know, you're like, should I buy here? That's cheap. And it's like, no, next day's cheap, right? Until it at least puts in a few days sideways and the RSI is extreme, I don't even consider it, man. Yeah, I've been adding to AG&C. All right, that's all I got, man. You guys be good. I appreciate you. All right, get those weirdos off. Anybody on YouTube got one you want me to look at? That one that guy put up was pretty interesting. Yeah, but average down. You're not averaging down. You're buying stage ones. Don't get lost on that fact. It does average your price down, but if you just focus on stage ones and don't worry about where you got in, nobody gives a fuck. The only person that means something to is you. The government doesn't care. The IRS doesn't care. E-Trade doesn't care. The stock doesn't care. Your mom doesn't care. Nobody cares. It only means something to you. Strong third quarter. Let's see. Okay. Minimal shorts. Yeah, he said buy high, sell high. There's plenty of people that trade like that on, buy high. They buy these kind of stocks. If you look at this, it's up even more, man. This may be my largest holding today. I had almost 300 shares. I'm down to 200. Trim in. Jeez. Yeah, so I got about 26K in this one. RSI's banging 74. I trimmed the last over here, and I wasn't going to do any more trimming. But, man, it just keeps going higher, man. You guys bet, man. Be good.
Clean.